Oh,
All right, here we go.
Search John Ellis water on the internet,
Yeah, we did that.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
making deuterium depleted water. That's a gallon of it, and that's a machine that. Tell her about the machine here.
That's a John Ellis water machine that makes the deuterium depleted water, and they're like $2,800. If you want to buy one,
Holy crap!
if you want to buy one, talk to me. I can get you one for $50 over my cost, and I get a discount, so I can get one cheaper than that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it. The body is the only thing that produces deuterium depleted water. When you urinate, that urine's got no deuterium in it.
So we absorb the deuterium.
So if you're drinking deuterium water that has deuterium in it, that's heavy hydrogen. Your body can't break it down into hydrogen and oxygen properly, and it causes illness.
Right.
Yeah. So, and all water in the world is contaminated with deuterium.
Even the ranch water out there, the artesian well.
All water on the face of the earth has deuterium in it.
Oh.
And what this does is removes the deuterium out of it, which is heavy hydrogen.
Right.
And heavy hydrogen makes it to where it takes a lot of electrical juice to break the water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Right.
And your body has an electrical circuit.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks water down into hydrogen and oxygen, and the oxygen goes into your bloodstream.
Right.
And it permeates the cells so it can properly detox your body.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have deuterium present, your body can't break it down properly. It messes with the cell structures, everything else, and then you get disease.
Well, you suppose that water didn't always have deuterium in it? Could it be from polluting?
Years ago, men lived to be 1,000 years old, didn't they?
Right.
The water was different.
I bet. The food, the water, the rain, everything.
Right. So anything that's grown with water that's contaminated with deuterium, the juice of that fruit or vegetable or whatever
Yes.
is got deuterium in it.
Right.
And so everything you eat, everything you drink has got deuterium in it.
Right.
Which then causes illness. And there's another YouTube video, YouTube station called Luke's Story. Luke Story, as in his story.
Yeah, telling a story.
Or telling a story, yeah.
Luke's story.
And type in deuterium, when you get to his channel, type in deuterium depleted water, and you'll find videos with three, I'm going to say cutting edge people of science and medicine.
Right.
Talking about the deuterium problem with the body.
Hmm.
But they don't mention this machine, they don't even know about it.
Why
Most
not?
of them don't
Why
know.
would they not know about it?
But they do know about the deuterium connection.
Okay.
And so they, that video is like an hour or two long, and where they're all kind of conversing about it and how to lower your deuterium levels of your body so your body can heal. Because once you lower the deuterium levels in your body can then heal, properly detox, and rebuild the cell structure.
Mm-hmm.
But without that,
So you think this stuff is going to help you rebuild your lungs, maybe?
well,
That might be. That'd be a good experiment. Go get your lungs tested after a year drinking that.
You remember that I showed you that picture of my lungs,
Yeah.
right? I don't have any lungs.
Yeah.
The last time I was in the hospital, they did another MRI, and it looks like I have half a chest full of lungs. I don't know. I've got to look at that picture again.
Did you get that?
What?
Did you get it?
I've got it somewhere. I got to try to find it. It's on a CD from the hospital.
Yeah.
But I wasn't drinking this until after that.
Right.
That's actually well water from the ranch, but
That artesian well?
this is the artesian well.
Oh, okay.
Well water
That's the
there.
artesian well water.
But
All right.
this is the deuterium depleted water being.
Oh, it's almost full now.
Yeah, it's almost.
That was barely over half when I got here.
And it's been going. What time did you get here?
About noon. What is it, like 4 now? About 4 hours, do half of that 5-gallon jug.
It takes a couple hours to make a gallon.
Well, she has a a distiller machine on the counter,
That doesn't do what this does.
and it just distills the water.
Right.
Right. But it's night and day different from the tap.
Right. That's good, but it's not like this. It's not as pure as this water.
So does this distill it too?
Yeah.
It distills and depletes.
And depletes the deuterium out of it.
Right.
This water is said to be 800 times more pure than laboratory pure water. The standard for laboratory pure water.
Uh-huh.
Which has got to be absolutely pure.
So it's got deuterium in it then.
Right, it's got deuterium in it, but this is even purer than that.
Wow.
This is the purest water on the face of the planet when it's done.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna try some later.
And there's another thing. If you do a lot of YouTube videos on water and the characteristics of water,
Right.
you'll find out that water has memory, kind of like a crystal.
Yep.
Because water is a crystal in a way, but
Right.
but
We've seen those videos where you talk negative to it and then freeze it, and you talk positive to it and freeze it.
So anyway,
it'll crystallize
they tested the water
different.
supply of many major cities,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of the sewage treatment plants are taking that sewage treated water and putting it right back in the drinking.
Oh yeah.
And so, even though that water may have went through reverse osmosis, which looks like pure water, it has retained the memory of all the drugs that people use when they peed.
All right.
And so all those drug markers, all those disease markers are still in the memory of the water.
Right.
And they can actually show it with scientific instruments that those markers are still there.
Mm-hmm.
This removes all that.
Mm.
It removes all those markers, any drug markers, anything. Because if you even have let me give you an example. This one YouTube video, this scientist that was studying water, they took the blood from a guy that had HIV.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and they had 9 test tubes, and they they take one drop of this blood, and they put it in a sample of water of a certain amount of milliliters.
Right.
And so that dilutes that blood into, literally hardly anything.
Right.
Then they take an eyedropper, and they pull out a certain amount of it, and they put in the first test tube 1 drop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now that dilutes it even further. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So then they take that test tube, it's mixed up to make sure it's completely diluted in that test tube. They pull some water out and put another drop in test tube number 2. So then that dilutes that
Even more.
that hundreds of times more.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take from that test tube number 2 into test tube number 3 and repeat that 9 times.
Mm-hmm.
Now at the 9th level, it's said that dilution is equivalent to 1 drop in all of the oceans of the world. That's how dilute it would be. 1 drop in all of the waters of the ocean of the world. You follow?
Not necessarily.
1 drop of water put into the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That's how dilute that 1 drop, or insignificant that 1 drop would be now.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yep.
So anyway, now on the 9th test tube, they take that and they record with a very expensive microphone.
Mm-hmm.
They can pick up everything, and they record that water. They're recording with a microphone.
Okay.
Okay? They send the sound file, which is like a wave file, to another lab 1,000 miles away in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
They take that sound file, take laboratory pure water, and play that sound that they recorded to that water.
Oh, really?
Okay, now
Okay.
listen.
Yeah, I follow.
Now remember what
I see what you're saying.
So you remember what the original contamination was? HIV blood.
Right.
It's now 1 drop of HIV blood into all of the oceans of the water.
Mm-hmm. Super
Okay.
diluted, yep.
Okay, so once they play this audio back to that water in Italy, 1,000 miles away,
Yep.
there's no physical contact between them other than this sound file.
Yep.
They play it back to that water, they test the water, and it comes up HIV positive and with the DNA from the person that it contributed to it.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's
That's memory.
Well, that's like trying to wrap your mind around that, right?
Yeah,
In
it's
other
just
words-
data. Everything in life is data.
So
Right?
it's showing you that the power of how water retains information,
Right.
and it can even be recorded and transported just with an audio file.
Dang, they can.
You wouldn't think there would be any sound coming from water, but everything puts off a frequency.
Yeah.
Everything's frequency, and
Yeah.
you know, that's what Tesla said, right? So that shows you the power of that. So the implications of that are that just about every water you come in contact with would be contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
What cleans water is going through brooks and all of the turbulence and the eddies and the whirlpools.
Right.
That cleanses water, and there's a process of nature that it can clean water. But even you can go down to the Klamath River.
Mm-hmm.
The Klamath River is supposed to be the cleanest river in the world. They're right here in Oregon.
Right.
Okay, that water there from that well out at the ranch is the cleanest well water in the whole state of Oregon, certified the cleanest.
Yeah.
And yet it's still not as, it still has a lot of
Has value in
minerals
it.
in
Yeah.
it because it's got
It's alkaline.
alkaline and stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
But supposedly they didn't put any radioactive isotopes in it. That's why they said it was the purest in Oregon, because that well is connected to an ancient aquifer which comes from a glacier under the ground that's melting. And so it could be 10,000 years old. That water could be 10,000 years old. So it may be purer than anything else, you know. It's one of only 7 places I've been shown on the face of the earth that has water that clean from a natural source.
Right.
And it's right on the ranch. And so that water out there is invaluable.
Right.
And when I was making this water from that, well, but it doesn't really matter. This corrects it anyway. This machine corrects any problems or memory it has.
Wow.
And I think what's doing that is the UV light, which is like natural sunlight.
Yeah.
The UV is what strips off that deuterium.
So it's like writing zeros to a hard drive.
Right.
It just resets,
But
right?
because this machine, the water's going in and out, cooling and heating, it changes all of those markers. It's memory markers. It's like erasing a hard drive over and over and over and over and over before it ever exits and comes out the other end.
Right.
It's got to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, over and over. And that's why you only see a couple little drips coming out of there at a time. Get it close up there. See, it's just very, very slowly dripping.
Yep.
And that thing's boiling full blast.
So this here's the boiler, and these are the lights here on top.
Those two are the lights. There's the control box for the lights.
Controller.
And then it's got a fan on top to help also cool it. Inside it's got a coil. Fresh water comes in here. Look at the crap that's on the bottom of that bowl already.
Oh yeah.
Just coming out of the city water line.
Yeah.
Anyway, this water fills up to a certain level up to there, and then it exits. And this is what's called the cooling water to help cool these coils. And then that little stainless steel pipe coming out there, that's where the water goes into here, and it goes in and out, in and out. You can see it down in the water exiting and then sucking it back in again. And you can see the waves under the water.
Oh, I see.
See it now?
Yep.
See, now it's exiting. So it's blowing it out under pressure.
Yep.
And then as soon as it does that and the pressure equalizes, it'll suck it back in. So it's going in and out, cooling and heating, cooling and heating. And that's the alchemist's secret. When you heat and cool water,
Right.
that's how you make the philosopher's stone that they were talking about, the alchemist.
Right.
And the inventor of this machine,
My camera can pick up that flow too.
the inventor of this machine talked about how this mimicked what the alchemist, that's why he made it this way, because it mimics what the alchemists were talking about. There's no machine on the world that's like the John Ellis machine.
Nice.
And it's all stainless steel constructed. This thing is made to last a lifetime. The only thing you'll ever have problems with is the lights, maybe.
So it goes in and out down there, and ends up eventually coming around this cooler pipe.
This boils.
And down into here.
This is boiling in here, and so the steam that makes it into here then condenses and comes down through here. This is a condenser coil. Inside here, this coil around. And this is where the boiling takes place in this little, and there's only a cup being boiled at a time.
Right.
Instead of trying to boil the whole pot, just a little cup. No more than a cup of water is coming in contact with these two bells in there that get extremely hot. And it boils it at a furious rate. It's a furious boil. It's not just a light boil. It's a real furious boiling. But that water has to get heated by boiling, cooled, heated, cooled, heated, cooled. And only a small fraction of the steam makes it in here. And that's the highly purified water.
Right.
And the steam is subject to these two UV lights.
Right.
And that also is it's being exposed to these lights long enough to strip the deuterium off of it. So Mother Nature does this in the clouds.
Right.
And when it strips the deuterium out of the water in the air, then the sunlight can break the water molecules down into hydrogen and oxygen. And then if there's a static electricity spark in the air, you get a boom. That's the oxygen and hydrogen blowing up.
Yeah.
That's not two clouds coming together. That's an explosion of hydrogen and oxygen that was separated from the water. And
is that where the lightning comes from too?
That's the thunder.
The lightning, you see it, right?
All right. When it does that, the lightning is in a release of electricity. That's the same electricity that caused the boom.
Right.
That sparked off the hydrogen, because hydrogen is highly volatile. It's like a rocket fuel.
Yeah.
And it blows up. If you put it in a balloon and lit it, it'd sound like an M80 going off.
Yeah.
Or a landmine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that blows up. So this is like mimicking nature is what this is doing.
Nice. Okay.
But doing it in over and over and over and over again so that it super purifies the water.
Sweet.
And anyway, if you want to have some spiritual experiences with dreams and stuff and visions, start drinking this water. And you'll have dreams and visions and you'll remember them.
Yeah, I remember my dreams for the most part.
Do you?
Oh yeah, already. I always remember stuff.
This is profound.
I have those dreams where you know you're in the dream and you can kind of go through.
At least that's what my experience was when I first started drinking and stuff.
Right.
But no, I'm a complete believer in this. This is the most amazing water. Now you can buy the water if you don't want to buy the machine. You can buy it off of eBay.
Right.
And you want to buy.
But you don't know that you're actually getting the right water though either.
Well, no. People that are selling it are legit, because that's where I was first getting it. I was buying it off the internet for $60 a gallon or more.
Oh wow!
And then they have to pay shipping on top of that.
Yeah.
But I used 2 or 3 gallons off the internet before I got my machine.
Okay.
And it was having a profound effect on my health. I think it was the only thing that saved my life actually.
Right.
After getting out of the hospital.
Right.
But now. They tell you that you only want to keep it in glass bottles. Nothing plastic.
Yeah, she doesn't like plastic either.
Right. Well, she's smart.
She goes after, like, if she goes to get coconut oil or any kind of drink, it's got to be glass.
Right.
She's always reminds me if I'm going to the store, get glass, not plastic. I'm like, I know, babe.
So anyway, so I bought this glass jug. I think I picked it up at a garage sale or something. It's broke on the lip, but you can buy these off of eBay for anywhere from $40 to $60 each. They're hard to come by anymore. But if you find any of these glass jugs, you might want to save them.
Yeah, the water guy brings plastic ones now.
Or go to the recycling place, and some people drink gallons of wine.
Yeah.
And you can get these for free.
Yeah.
or you can buy those off the internet.
Yeah.
But if you're ordering the water off the internet from eBay, what I'm telling you, there's a person selling on eBay that sells it in these bags. Now it is a pet-free bag. It is in kind of a plastic bag just to ship it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you get it, you want to put it in a
Glass container.
glass container.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper to buy it that way because you don't have the weight of the glass.
Right.
Plus all of the material you have to put around them to keep it from breaking.
Right. Right.
In these plastic bags, it's a lot easier to ship.
Yeah.
And they can use a flat rate box
Right.
to fit it in.
Yeah.
Whereas that, you can't fit it in any flat rate box.
Right.
But
All right.
but if she buys a machine, she can sell this water locally for, you know, if you're just selling it to somebody without shipping or anything, $40 a gallon.
Right.
So how many gallons do you have to make before you made your 2,800? Or I could get it cheaper than that, but let's say 2,500 or something.
Right.
I don't know if I can get it that cheap.
I don't know anybody that. I don't know of anybody. That town's pretty brainwashed. Like,
Yeah,
so it'd be hard to find the right people, I guess.
$50 goes into 25, 50 times. You'd have to sell 50 gallons to pay for your machine, let's say.
Right.
Somewhere a little over 50 gallons. But there's people that know about this.
You could sell it all on eBay.
You could sell it on eBay, but it's a hassle.
Money. Yeah,
Unless you
everything.
can find those bags. I've been trying to find those bags and where to get them.
Yeah.
And I was selling it in quart or half-gallon mason
Go to
jars.
the store and get those wine bags and empty the bags of wine.
Yeah,
Empty those out,
that's
fill them
not
up.
sanitary, though. It's not
Because
sanitary.
it's got wine in it.
And that's not a pet.
If you could
bag.
get those, what's a pet-free bag?
This bag that they ship it in is like foil lined or something.
Oh.
It's a special bag.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so it's not just any old plastic bag. It's
Right.
Pet free means it doesn't transfer any of the plastic
Yeah.
contaminants.
Okay, yeah.
You know, most of these plastic jugs that they have nowadays,
It leaches into the water.
it leaches whatever in it. Yeah.
Right. That's why she don't like plastic.
Yeah. And bottled water
Yeah.
is death water. It's like cancer water. It's reverse osmosis water. Yeah, it might be pure, but it's dead.
Yeah.
This is alive. This water is alive.
Right.
That's death water. This is life water.
Mm-hmm.
And there's go and look up John Ellis water on YouTube.
Yep.
He has some videos. He's got videos of where he's being interviewed by people.
Mm-hmm.
Like type in interview with John Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of other channels that have interviewed him, and he brings out information that you haven't heard on his channel.
Okay.
And he's like 90 years old now,
Oh, really?
and he was an Olympic gold medalist. Okay, and in the javelin, I think,
Right.
or shot put, one of the two. I can't remember which now. But anyway, some of this water coming off here, this cooling water exit, this water, just the water coming off it can sterilize a well. 10 gallons of that water coming off of that, if you poured it down into a well, it'll completely purify the well water. Because remember,
Why are you wasting that water then?
because I don't have anything to really put it in right now. So I'm just letting it run on the ground.
Okay.
That's what the hot tub was for.
Oh, you were gonna take a bath in it?
Yeah, because that's another thing. If you save this exit water and you bathe in it,
Uh-huh.
it's better than a mineral bath, or like if you go to a hot spring or something.
She does mineral baths right in her own bathtub. She'll put what's that stuff in the brown bottle? The
The only problem is keeping this
dang it.
water hot.
so tired.
You'd need something where you can put it in your bathtub, like a jacuzzi thing that heats the water too.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get this off the machine into your bathtub, it's going to be cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be cooling down.
Yeah.
But so you got to have a way to heat that water in your bathtub.
Take a while to fill up a tub with that slow
Well, that's why I
drain.
wanted the hot tub, because it has heaters and everything.
Yeah.
So once I filled it up with this water, then I would have heaters on it and
Right.
circulation pumps, and then But this will produce about twice as much, the three to four times as much water is coming out of this than goes in here.
Yeah.
Because this is just the cooling water coming off.
But it's still a lot cleaner, huh?
Right, because see, the water inside there went in and out and been subject to the UV lights also.
Right.
So this
I noticed that.
This
Yeah.
is just trickling in. This water is just trickling in enough to keep the level right at that exit.
Right.
point. I could turn it up higher, but then it gets too full.
Yeah.
You want it at a level to where it takes about 2 hours to make a gallon of water.
Mhm.
If it's any sooner than that, it's too fast,
Yeah.
and it's not pure enough.
Right. Cool.